pro athlete who now runs a boutique recruitment agency specializing in placing former pro athletes into corporate roles, maximizing those really unique skills and experience, is our next guest, talking to career transition workshops about how we can help athletes to find something to do post-career. Of course, joining us now is Alex Opacic from Athletes to Business. Alex, thanks so much for your time.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really interested in this because we see that a lot of sports men and women struggle in the transition. They've been wonderful at sport. They've been training their entire lives since young children. They move through it. There could be an injury. There could be falling out with a coach. There could be so many things. And then on the other side, you quite often see a bender, as we perhaps may have seen over the weekend just gone.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it happens a lot, and it kind of happened throughout my story as well, which is why I started this business. But essentially, I had quite a poor transition into my next phase of life after an 8-year elite basketball career that includes about 3 years professionally and 4 years playing college basketball in the US.
Can you just explain your story? So you're playing basketball, it's come to an end. Give us an idea of kind of what happened, both from the mental side for you, but also from what other people were seeing about you.
Yeah, so when I retired, I needed to get another job and do something outside of basketball. But I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't even know how to go about it. I had no any other passion, or at the time I thought no other skill outside of basketball. So I was quite lost. I was quite had a low self-esteem, felt worthless and useless to be honest. And that lasted for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. But I battled through various different jobs. I quit a lot of jobs. I was fired for a few jobs. But eventually I learned to tap into the skills and I guess the experiences that you gain from sport, like resilience, competitiveness, discipline, all those unique skills that you need to be an elite sportsman or a professional sportsman. I learned to transfer that into the business world, and that's when my life started turning around and things started getting better for me. And then I found another career for myself, or I guess another passion, which is within the business world.
Yeah, that's really, really good. So what was the passion that you found?
Initially it was sales. I found the niche within B2B sales. I started my career for a media company. I was lucky enough, I had a really good sales manager at the time who nurtured me. And actually she hired me on the basis that I was an elite athlete, and she knew that I had the mongrel, or as she called it, or the competitive nature to be quite a successful account manager or B2B sales professional. And then eventually she was right. She got it out of me, and I started succeeding in the role, getting promoted and then moving up the ranks, I guess. But I found that within sales, like sport, you get that adrenaline rush when you help a client out or make a crucial deal. And it's chasing that adrenaline rush, chasing the goals, chasing the targets that I found that really resonated. Then kind of almost felt like I was part of that basketball game again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, they often say when it comes to business, it's all about persistence, right? And that's very much the case when it comes to sales. And when it comes to a game of basketball or that marathon game of footy, etc., it really is about persistence, battling against that constant stop, this hurts mentality, and just to keep going out there as well. What other skills do you think that pro athletes have when it comes to being hired, other than just that ability to carry on during a crisis?
Yeah, 100%. I think, and it's probably one of the most sought after skills in today's day and age, is emotional intelligence, right? As an elite athlete, and especially myself, I traveled around the world playing basketball. You're playing with teammates that have, and this isn't just for team sports, it's individual sports who have a team behind them that do things behind the scenes. But you're working with teammates or colleagues with multiple personalities. Maybe they come from different cultural backgrounds, and you have to learn how to deal with these different personalities or people from various different cultural backgrounds. And you have to come together fast. Like, as you know, a season lasts for 6 months, tops, sometimes 8 months, right? So you have to figure it out. And it's typically in preseason, which lasts for 2 or 3 months. How do you come together? How do you play as a team How do you come to one collective goal and then go out there and perform and make that happen? And you have to do it fast. So your ability to adapt to various different teammates, their styles, put it all together on the court or on the field, whatever sport you're playing, and win and generate results. And then that same thing applies within business. I mean, if a sales professional is working, say, the B2B environment, and let's say you're selling to various different C-level executives, everybody's different. You have to adapt to everybody's different style of decision making, their personalities, and you have to kind of mold to that and be able to sell to various different type of people. Not just that, you have to be able to adapt to your internal team as well. Again, everybody's different with the way they work, with the way they I guess, approach their work day. So you have to come together and perform that goal. If you're selling to somebody, you have to adapt to their personality and get them to like you as fast as possible. Because as we know, in today's day and age, forever, people buy from people they like. So that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that I see athletes have, is just that emotional intelligence and ability to build relationships fast.
It seems to be, though, when we have a look at a lot of these different athletes who come out, the temptation to head to drugs or to overeat, etc., becomes pretty strong. Do you think that the clubs, the teams, need to have more responsibility for athletes on the other side?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, especially while they're still an athlete, and I've seen it since I've started this business, and I guess working in this athlete transition industry. There is a lot of clubs who have athlete transition well-being officers or athlete well-being officers who are doing their best to ensure that athletes go on the right path once they retire, but more importantly, are on the path right there and then while they're an athlete. Start creating good habits, so when they stop, when they retire, they carry on those good habits throughout their life. But I've partnered with various different athlete well-being transition managers from various different sporting codes and clubs, and I must say, NRL, AFL, NBL, Netball Australia, Cricket Australia, they're all, and others as well. They're all doing a great job in terms of helping their athletes out right now. To ensure they instill some good habits and transition. But at the end of the day, you're going to get a few here and there that go down I guess, the path of what you mentioned, drugs, etc. But it's certainly getting better in terms of there's less and less of that happening, and there's more people out there helping athletes with that transition and instilling good habits for them, lifestyle habits. So once they do retire, they don't go down that slippery path.
And so, what sort of corporate jobs do you think that athletes tend to succeed in most?
The one that stands out, and I've been alluded to it earlier, and it's kind of what my story was as well, but sales, B2B sales, account management, relationship management,
And it's probably a
anything
great
customer
idea
facing.
because if you've got someone who's well known and is a pro athlete, and as you say, is customer focused and customer facing, they probably know how to deal with fans. And it's also a great icebreaker when you've got this pro athlete in the room and they can talk a little bit about what they went through. And it's also, in a way, seen to be that kind of guarantee, that seal of approval from this well known athlete in your business. And also, I guess, a trust factor too.
Yeah, 100%. And you hit the nail on the head there. One of the biggest things is the icebreaker, really. I remember throughout my sales process, initially when I was introducing myself, I mean, I have a bit of an advantage because I am 6'10". And as soon as I walk in the room, people know that I played basketball. But there's so many ways that athletes can incorporate their story within the sales process. And it's so interesting. Like, everybody loves hearing stories of elite or professional athletes, how they got there, what they went through. It's a massive icebreaker. And once you're able to, I guess, create that warm feeling, or the icebreakers out of the way, the world's your oyster in terms of building relationships with that particular C-level executive.
Yeah, very much so. And talk to us about where you see your business going in terms of, at the moment, obviously, because hard to get jobs happening right now. Has it been kind of difficult for you guys?
Definitely, it's been difficult. There's obviously less jobs out there in the market. It's tough to find jobs right now, but there are pockets of industries that are still hiring, which we do have clients that we're working with around the clock to try and fill those roles. But at the moment, the biggest focus for my business is branding, but at the same time, I'm constantly evolving and putting together various different workshops in terms of coaching athletes and providing tips and tools on best practices for athlete transition. And it's more so around the mechanical side of things, job interview skills, how to use LinkedIn, how to create your LinkedIn profile, sales and communication skills as well. Because I think those three things that I mentioned are key mechanical elements in ensuring that athletes have a successful post-sport career.
Yeah, all right. Alex, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on everything you're doing, and thanks for talking to us today.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for having me. Take
All
care.
right.